Hey y'all, I'm shooting this video to clear up a little confusion. It seems quite a few people are mixing up the 2-year contestability period with regular insurance policies with the 2-year wait period for guaranteed issue whole life policy. So let me just break that down again. So with insurance policies, no matter if it's a whole life policy, term policy, and other different types of life products, they have a 2-year contestability period. And that period is if the person who's insured passes away within that first 2 years, the company has a right to go back and investigate the cause of death. And they're looking to make sure that the person didn't pass away from something they did not disclose on the application. They're looking to make sure the person didn't say that they were a non-smoker when they were actually a smoker, things of that nature. So the 2-year contestability period is when the company goes back or has the right to go back and investigate the cause of death if the insured passes away during the first 2 years of the policy. Now, a few people have been getting it confused with the 2-year wait period that is associated with guaranteed issue whole life policies. So with the guaranteed issue whole life policies, they don't ask any medical questions. There's no questions about your health, your hobbies, your habits, or anything like that. So the way those policies work is they have, most of them, because I have seen one that had a 3-year wait period, but most of these policies you have if the person if the person passes away within the first 2 years of the policy from anything that's considered natural causes or any medical reasons or suicide, the policy does not pay out. However, you get back all the premiums that you paid into the policy. They're returned back to you plus 10%. Some may do a little more, some may do a little less than a 10%, but all of the money that you paid into it is returned back to you. And the reason why they don't pay out within the first 2 years, because with this type of policy, since they basically will insure anybody regardless of their health and other conditions, the company is taking on all risk. And the way life insurance policies work is that the company doesn't really make any money off of the policy until after the 3rd year. So with those high risk policies, they don't pay out unless the death occurs from anything accidental. But since they don't ask any kind of medical questions, if the person passes away in the first 2 years from anything medical or natural causes, they do not pay out. People are confusing those two terms, and a lot of people may ask, why would anybody even get one of those guaranteed issue whole life policies if the person passes away of natural causes in the first 2 years? It doesn't pay out. And to me, that would fall under the category of some coverage is better than no coverage. Yes, it's like a numbers game. You're kind of rolling the dice because we never know when someone will pass away. But for people who have illnesses or conditions or maybe height and weight or things that would otherwise make them uninsurable, with this type of policy, they're able to get some coverage. And if they outlive the 2 years, then they have full coverage just like anyone else. However, even though it doesn't pay out in the first 2 years from anything natural causes, starting day one, if the person who has this policy is hit by a car or anything accidental, it pays out the full benefit. So it does offer you some coverage which is better than no coverage at all. And if the person does outlive that 2-year wait period, then they have full coverage just like any other policy. And if you think about it, it's really nothing to lose, because even if the person does pass away within the first 2 years, you get all the money that you paid into it returned back to you. So I just wanted to clear up some confusion, because some people were thinking with regular policies that weren't guaranteed issued, that if the person passes away within the first 2 years, the policy doesn't pay out. And that's not the case. Just within that first 2 years, they have a right to go and investigate. And in many cases, after the investigation, even if the claim is held up a little, they usually turn around and they pay the policy out, even if it's a little delayed. So that's the differences between those two terms. One is a contestability period, and the other is a wait period that only relates to guaranteed issued whole life policies. And here's another tip that I would like to share with you all. I think it's a really good idea to make sure your life insurance agent knows someone in your family. I had an agent once tell me, this is before I was in a business, she was my agent. She told me that she goes to the funerals of her clients, because sometimes people don't know that they have policies in place. So she goes to the funerals and she's trying to track down the next of kin to let them know that this person did have a life insurance policy. Now, it was easier for her to do this because she was an agent who solely worked with state and city government employees. So if someone passed away, word got to her quickly. Not all agents have that benefit, but if you have an agent, it's a good idea to make sure they know members of your family, because that can help speed up the claims process. It can help make it smoother. Sometimes beneficiaries, like I stated in a previous video, don't even know that they're a beneficiary. Or sometimes the beneficiary isn't available, or maybe people may forget where you say you have your important papers at. So if your agent knows other members of your family, in the event of your death, they're able to contact one of your relatives to say, this person did have a policy in place. This is the number you will call to make a claim. This is what you have to send in to make a claim. It just would make the process a little easier on the family. So this wasn't intended to be a long video. I just wanted to clear up those two differences. So I'm going to move on to the weird fact about me. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but I realized just a few minutes before I started shooting this video that all day long my shirt has been buttoned incorrectly. I walked in my daughter's room. This is where I shoot my videos at, and she has a full-length mirror, and I stood in front of it and realized that my shirt was buttoned wrong. So that's today's weird fact. All day long I've been walking around with my shirt buttoned incorrectly. And as for the song that's playing today, it's Going Down by Young Jock. That wasn't the song that was originally in my head today, but I used that as a caption for a picture that I posted on Facebook earlier, and the song has been stuck in my head since. So I want you all to tune in for my next video, because I have a new insurance hashtag that I will be introducing. I'm hashtag crazy, so I'm really excited about this insurance hashtag. I want you all to use it, but I'm not going to reveal it to the next video, so make sure you tune in. So until next time, this is the Neighborhood Insurance Lady, and I'm out. Bye.